Fighters Sam Battlefield here, or sub battlers Sam Battlefield here. Battlers is so much better, eh? Anyway, thanks for joining me. CLA, coaching, etc. Did an open mat today. It's fucking cool. I just wanted to put down a couple of wins, I suppose, for this week. One, my coach, who is also in CLA, he did a CLA seminar for another gym and had someone, just pick his brain as much as possible and then basically say to him, right, I now kind of get it. Apparently he was an army drill sergeant or whatever, an army trainer, and apparently he was like, right, you haven't convinced me that it's the best way to go, but I understand it now, and I think it's a good, I understand why it works. It's like, well, that's a win, man. That's a fucking win. If someone that is drilled into drilling, and then they pick someone's brain and then identify, yeah, actually I can see why that's working. That's the first step. So well done to Alex, good on you, bro. Spreading that message. That's freaking cool. The other reason for this chat, oh shit. The other reason for this chat is, yeah, essentially, I find this week had Andy along. Andy was saying, he sort of quietly came up to me and said, geez, that Levi's guard's good, and I'm like, yeah, that's why we're working on guard game at the moment. But one of the I woke up at 2:30 this morning, and I was, I don't know why I woke up. I wasn't particularly stressed or anything, but I just thought, well, on my mind is that I fucking suck at passing guard, and I want to get better. And how do I get better? And it's like, one thing that I'm turned off to make this video. I'm listening to an ecological psychology textbook, or whatever it is, Introduction to Ecological Psychology. Once again, super interesting, but how much benefit am I getting from my coaching from understanding this stuff? And I'm listening to it, and I'm like, yeah, well, I'm not really taking a heap away from from understanding some of the research behind why ecological dynamics as a theory is likely a really good theory, right? Looking at kind of affordances that we can identify in other people. Actually, that might be interesting to look into. Anyway, don't worry about that. The whole purpose of this video is basically to say that, when you're on rotation with the same group of guys, you tend to learn each other's rhythm. You tend to learn their A game. You tend to learn their timing, their strengths, their weaknesses, and so you in some way, shape, or form, and the fact that we're all working on the same shit together. You tend to, like, the rising tide's lifting all ships, but you can't, like, the horizon's not changing. Do you know what I mean? But the reality is you fucking, and I'm going to leave that analogy for the rising tide analogy just for the time being, but I really like the Saturday open mats because I jump into them, and then like a whole world opens up to me, because I'm like, oh shit, this person doesn't have any idea of my timing. They're not shutting this down, which I'm usually getting shut down on, so I'll try something different. It's just like a whole new world. Like I was I'm once again trying to work on passing, but also trying to work on my open guard. So one of the things that my passing, I'm working on people who are really good at guard. So, you know, one of my goals is to eventually pass Levi's guard. He's got a really fucking good guard, man. And yeah, shout out to you, bro. I know you watch this, so and yeah, just so you know, you're giving me an inspiration. You're aspirational guard, all right. But Jason, you know, Jason's a black belt, and you know, his guard is similar, flexible, long-limbed, retains, gets underneath you, fucks you up, puts you on your, you know, flips you over, all that sort of thing. So, and before I went away, I was testing it. I was just every time I'd roll with him, because I knew we were working on it. We were going to be working on guard leading up, so I was like, test it, and just getting fucking destroyed, bro. Like getting put on my fucking face. On one occasion, I literally got put on my face. Like, that's how bad my passing of his guard was that I went to do a knee slice or a knee cut, fuck it, whichever one I did, I went to do it, and he just, I dived way past where I was meant to be, and I just fucking face planted, and he got on top, and it was sad, bro. Like, it was sad. And anyway, working on stuff this week. Didn't feel like I was getting that far once again, because the rising tide was lifting all ships. And then, as I said, got up this morning early, and I did, for the first time, I jumped in and I got given a whole heap of Danaher's instructionals a few years ago for randomly helping someone out. Never watched them, so I decided to do what they say to do on the Discord and listen to the first 20 minutes, get the principles, and yeah, next thing you know, I had, you know, there was a couple of things that, you know, I was still like, I still had as my I kind of was already putting into play as games, but not explicitly as a principle. And these two principles, I just was like, that I heard from him this morning in these instructionals and while watching a few matches. One of those principles was turn the soles of the feet away from you and turn the knees away from you. And it's like, yeah, well, fucking, I knew that. But that's not what I've been doing. What I've been doing is just saying, address the feet and address the knees before getting, like, when I say address, like, you know, you got to get past the feet to get to the knees, to get past the knees to get to the hips. Well, how do you do that? Oh, well, you just address them as you come to them. What does that mean? Well, okay, today just tested those principles out. That's all I did. Turn the soles of the feet away, and then turn the knees away. Didn't work all the time, but some stuff did work. And there was a few openings for a few fucking leg locks as well that opened up to me, that I ended up fucking becoming a heel hunter at one stage. Didn't even intend to. I was trying to pass guard. But yeah. Anyway, yeah, there was kind of a moment where I was like, shit, this is where, you know, all that time in the lab, the open mat becomes an even bigger, like, yeah, what's the word? It's like, it's kind of, it's the step below a real world situation. So, yeah, it's really cool. Anyway, much love, peace.